Hey everybody, I'm Isaac Duralno, your host of Long Tines Tight Lines. I just wanted to preface this interview by saying that the opinions expressed in it are not necessarily my opinions or the opinions of Long Tines Tight Lines. I hope you enjoy it. Hey everyone, I'm here with Nate Laskiewicz from Lakes Region Fishing, and I'm going to ask him a couple questions. Before fishing a new body of water, do you look at maps to prepare yourself? Can you tell the viewers how you begin to fish a new area?
Oh, absolutely, Isaac. When I go to a lake, I definitely look at a map. I want to know if it's a topography map so I can show bottom contours, that's even better. But if not, if I just have a map that shows me the points and islands, you can usually determine from that map the extended points, or if there's islands lined up off a point, there might be some humps out there. So I definitely look at maps. It's a key. First thing I do when I get to a lake, though, is I look at the topography. I look at what the water clarity is, which way the wind's blowing, direction. I love to fish the windy side of the lake. The windy side of the lake is usually when the nutrients get stirred up from the wind action, and it starts that food chain from bait fish and predatory fish to start feeding, because they start feeding on the smaller fish that are wanting the nutrients.
Other than the necessary tools, what is the one thing you never go fishing without?
I would never go out without my sunglasses. Polarized sunglasses for a couple reasons. First of all, polarized sunglasses allow you to look into the water so you can see weeds and structure, but also UV rated sunglasses to protect your eyes. The fallacy is a lot of people will buy the darkest glasses going. And if they're not UV rated, the danger is the fact that your eyes will dilate to try to take in as much light, and which can be a negative factor on your eyes if you're not using polarized or UV rated sunglasses. The sunglasses are very important.
What is the biggest misconception about what it takes to catch bass?
The biggest misconception is the fact that there is no magic lure. Everybody thinks that there's one lure that's going to catch bass. There isn't. The closest lure that comes close to being a magic lure would be your stick bait, like a Senko. That's probably the closest that's a bait that catches fish consistently, but there is never one lure that's the magic lure.
If you were planning for a day of fishing and can only know two pieces of information, such as wind direction, cloud cover, water temperature, water clarity, or something else along those lines, what two pieces of information would you choose and why?
Well, I always check the weather. The weather has a lot of those points, but I always look at the weather for wind and safety reasons. The second factor is, what's the bait fish in the water? I know what type of bait fish, if it's crawfish or minnows like alewives, I'll know what to go for.
Match that.
Match the hatch, exactly.
If you're fishing in tougher extreme conditions, when bass may be thrown off from their normal activity, such as the flooding that occurred a couple years ago on Lake Champlain, what do you generally try to do to figure out where the bass will be?
The first thing I always do is look at what the condition is. Like in flooded conditions, bass love shallow water, freshly flooded water. I'll go right to the shoreline and start fishing that freshly flooded areas. That's key. Other conditions, it really depends on what the circumstances is, but usually start shallow and go deep. But you start with the process of elimination. Start shallow, start working points, start working weed beds, and start switching up. Be very versatile in your approach.
And finally, if you had an entire fishing season and could only use 5 different types of lures, what would you choose?
Oh, that's a good one. I would take a spinnerbait or a chatterbait, some sort of fast-moving bait. I would take a crankbait. I would take a soft plastic, either worm, and I'd definitely take a jig and pig, and in the fall, a hair jig. Anything that imitates minnow or crawfish baits, you're going to be golden.
With the worm, would you choose like a stick bait like a Senko or a more finesse approach?
I'd go with the finesse approach.
Thank you very much. You can check Nate out. Make sure to go to his website, lakesregionfishing.com, and check out his show as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Isaac.